Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I'm in my office right now and I decided it's like the perfect time to curate my TBR for the next month. I will make another video where I will tell you how it went with my last one. With that new experience, I will definitely pick less books for various reasons. For one, I never know how much time I truly have to read, and I do not want to add more onto my to-do pile than necessary. And I'd like to have some tiny little space for potential mood reading. I'm going to put 5 books on my TBR for the next month. I think that's a good number, because if I want to read more, I will just pick something, go by my mood. All right. I did not set up any rules when I made this first video. I do not know what rules to set because obviously I will just spin the wheels multiple. What I want to say is that I will take the liberty to change or skip a book if it's too many titles within the same genre. I like to read broad, and I do not want to have like 5 fantasy reads. So I will definitely skip genres if necessary. If the wheel lands on a title in a series, I will read the first book of said series, obviously. Or, go with the next title of said series. Another, is it rules when I'm making exceptions? No, seriously, I can only read 1 non-fiction book a month. So I will pick, if the wheel lands on 1 non-fiction book, I will put it on my TBR, but will skip any other non-fiction book. Because non-fiction takes a little focus and concentration, etc. And I want to give my non-fiction book the focus they deserve. These are my rules. I am not, we'll make them up while we're going. Let's dive into this. I'm actually pretty hyped. I'm one of those people who pretty much feel pumped about almost every book on their TBR. I have some books on my physical TBR and a lot of books on my digital TBR. And I've just put them all together and we'll spin the wheel. Let's do this. We'll spin the wheel now. So, book 1. I've prepared the wheel already, added all titles, all titles, ebook and physical, and we'll just shuffle them now a few times and then spin the wheel. I wish I could have a proper reaction. Okay, I do not know what this is. And the funny thing is, I know what it is. I bought it this month on a whim. I think I bought it last week. It was an impulse buy, and I should really stop with doing any impulse shopping. But I was at my bookstore, or one of the bookstores in my area, and I just saw this and I was like, what is this? And picked it. And I do not know what it is. I tried to research, but I still don't know. Wait, I'll show you. All right, this is the Book of Bill. And even what's written there, it does not say anything. Like, apparently it's insane, it's crazy, it's weird, it's about something evil. Give me a second. I do not even know if it's like a book, or if it's like, no, it's not a comic, it's not. Okay, so the Book of Bill is set in the Gravity Falls universe, a TV series I never watched, so as I said, impulse buy, and as I said, I should really stop with those. The Book of Bill is set in said universe, and it's told from the perspective of the super villain. It seems like it's and Bill is the villain, and it's Bill's perspective. The reason why I told you I'm not sure if this is a book is, wait, I will show you. Like, this is what we're talking about. I do not know what to expect. I do not know what it is. I will just put it on my TBR. However, I did say I will only pick 5 books, but I will pick 5 and this one because I do not know what this is going to be. All right, we have the first book. What the F wheel? Out of all, I was wondering if I should even put it into the wheel just 10 minutes ago. And I thought, how high are the chances of the wheel picking just this one book? Come on, put it onto the list. Yeah, here we are. Obviously, we're going to spin the wheel once more now. And this one I'm actually super hyped about. I did not squeal when the wheel landed on it because I wanted to spare you my, I wanted to spare you from getting death. Assistant to the Villain is actually on my priority TBR for 2026. I have a TBR with the books I'm most excited about, and this is on it. Super happy. It's Romantasy, I think leaning more towards fun, and it's about a woman who is really in need of a job, and she becomes the assistant to a villain. I think like something like a secretary. So she works for the evil guy, and he's hot and all that. And I think something or someone wants to take the villain out, or his whole organization or whatever, kingdom, and she wants to save him, help him, whatever. I am not sure about the details of the plot. However, I am super hyped about this one. I am going to do a genre spin next because it gives me a little bit of variety instead of just picking a title. I have added my genres, or the ones I defined. We'll spin it. We'll shuffle it, and let's spin. We don't judge, do we? Yeah, I have, as I said, I have categorized my books in several genres. And an example for that being my horror genre, I have separated into general horror, horror sci-fi, and horror water/ocean. And I think I have zombies. So this is all horror genre. And I've done something similar with my contemporary romance. I have separated them into general contemporary romance, sapphic, and other representation contemporary romance. I have also divided the kinks. I have the BDSM kink books. I have other kinks as a separate genre just for me to be able to categorize my books better or my reads better. BDSM. I do not have many books there, and I am pretty picky with that genre. I noticed for myself I am actually not too much into BDSM books. I like kinky books. I'm fine with those, but I'm super picky about BDSM. I have 39 books on my TBR. These are not books I all own. I own a few, and you know what? We'll just ask Alexa to give us a number. Alexa, give me a number between 1 and 39.
Das könnte deine Frage beantworten. Hier ist eine Zahl zwischen 1 und 49, 28.
She misunderstood me and thought I was talking about 49, but she still gave me a number below 49, so we run with that. She said 28. Book number 28 is a book called Can't Touch by Kara Croft. And the author is not unknown to me. I have read some of her books, and I think I like them, if I remember correctly. Okay, I do own the book. I wasn't sure. I thought I didn't own it, but I do own it. I would just need to check if it's truly book 1 of a series, because yeah, it's 1 of a series. Okay, let's see what it's about. All right, so we have a roommate situation. They're both in college and they are roommates. One of them is, I think, in some sort of sports team. I believe it's football. Yeah, it's football. And the other one is like really good academically. And that's it. That's basically the premise, and they're into each other. This is the short one. It says it has around 54,000 words, which is really not a lot. Almost novella length, bit above it, because novella I think is 45 or 40,000 words. And the kink it contains is praise kink, which is why I said it's not just BDSM, it's like kinky reads. And it's supposed to be rather light and low angst, and I'm pretty content with that. I have 2 more shelves which are important to me, and I want to spin the wheel, or not spill. I will have Alexa pick a number for me, a random number, or wait a moment. I will see if I have some sort of pick the number app, because Alexa is not really, how should I put it? I'm not sure if she always understands me, we have communication issues. I found a random app which will pick a number for me, a random number. I hope it will work. I have 2 shelves. Like I said, 2 shelves I want to pick a book from. One is my priority TBR. I did have a book from a TBR, the wheel picked it, but I still want to pick another one from that one shelf. And I have a second shelf, which is 2025 releases, like newer books. I am not too bothered by a book being old or new, but I do want to get my 2025 list a little bit down. All right, I let the generator pick a number for me, and it generated the number 181. I hope you believe me, but why should I lie, in all honesty? Yeah. Give me a moment. Number 181 on my 2025 bookshelf is titled Tied to the Waves, and it's a monster romance. I think it's a queer romance, but I'm not sure what type of LGBTQ plus representation we have here. It seems like the main character returns to their hometown or whatever. There are a lot of trauma or traumatic things that happened to them. I think they have an abusive ex or something, and a traumatic childhood. And then they stumble over a merman. And the merman is obviously into them, and I think it's probably a fated mate thingy. Whatever, it's monster romance, it's probably fated mates, it's paranormal romance. That's my cup of tea. I don't think I would ever skip a paranormal romance. I will have the number generator app thingy pick a number for me for my priority TBR shelf. I have 73 books on that shelf, which is a lot, but they accumulate, And these are priority reads. This is apparently things I want to read the most. Let's see. The number the generator picked is 51. Number 51 on my priority TBR is Till Summer Do Us Apart. I remember this one. This sounded so hilarious. The female lead is the only woman on the team. However, everyone there is married, so it's not some sort of assaultish situation. And she wants to impress her boss, so she makes up a husband that she doesn't have. However, people around her tell her, hey, you have a husband, where's your wedding ring? And she then tells them that she and her husband have issues and are not happily married. She asks for help from a best friend who sets her up with their brother, I think. For whatever reason, they then join this marriage camp where all of female leads co-workers are. So they really have to act out the married couple, but also the married couple with issues. I just found this sounds hilarious, so I wanted to read this. I obviously will read this. It's another romance read. I only have romance reads now. I mean, it's paranormal romance, it's romantasy, it's monster romance, like queer representation. I will pick the next book myself. I think it's kinda good when I do that too. I got a new one, which I really am eager to read. I really want to read it and will do so next month. I will put it on my TBR. And it's Shroud by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is alien horror or space horror. Basically, there is some sort of emergency landing, like 2 people land on this planet with a very, very dangerous alien species, I think. And this is everything I like because it's in space. It's an unknown planet. Everything is dangerous. And probably everything and everyone on this planet wants to kill them. It's eerie. And I'm sure the atmosphere is going to be very scary, and I love that. I need to summarize what I have now. I have the assistant to the villain. I have a pretty short romance, Can't Touch. I have the monster romance, paranormal romance. I don't think this is particularly long either. I have Till Summer Do Us Apart, which is a normal contemporary romance, probably a rom-com. And I have Shroud, the space horror, sci-fi horror thingy. I'm wondering if I should pick a continuation for one of the series I'm reading. I do not have a lot of open series on my TBR. I have a few there which I really would like to read, actually. Like there's Contaminated, which is also a alien romance, and it's by Amanda Myler, and she writes hilarious books, so I kind of want to read that one. There is Boneless, which is book 2 of Bury My Bones, I think, which I read last month. And there is book 2 of the Cerulean Chronicles, which I really, really want to read. And there is book 2 of Nocturne Falls. I read book 1 this month. Kind of intrigued by that too. I've decided I will read Boneless because it's short, and I will wrap up the duology by this. And this is, in my opinion, pretty motivating to do. Alright, I picked 6 books, it seems, not 5. Why am I saying it seems when I did pick 6 books? However, one of them is very short. The one I picked last, Boneless, it says it's 52 pages, which is close to nothing. It's a short story. But I do want to read that one. It's an urban fantasy. It has like Arrow Ace representation, or it feels like Arrow Ace representation. It's a very cool setting. I love the first book and I want to finish the duology. So let me summarize again. We have Assistant to the Villain, the Romantasy, where we have an assistant who works for the villain. Then we have Can't Touch, which is the kinky romance, where we have the 2 roommates living together. Then we have Tides to the Waves, which is a monster romance, and queer monster romance, where we have a lot of Hurt and Comfort, and a merman, and probably Fated Mates. Then we have Till Summer Do Us Part, a contemporary romance, probably rom-com-ish, where we have fake dating, fake marriage. Then we have Boneless, which is book 2 of a duology, set in an urban fantasy setting with magic, etc. The main character is I believe, a non-binary vampire, and I believe they're on the look for their best friend and their werewolf companion. It's not a romance. I think it's just bromance just a general urban fantasy book. And then I have Shroud on my list, which is a horror sci-fi, where we have two characters landing on this dangerous planet where everything wants to kill them and they have to survive somehow. Alright, this is it. I hope it wasn't too chaotic. I always think my videos, especially this type of video, is pure and utter chaos. But I hope it wasn't. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I will check in with you in a couple of weeks to see how I did with my TBR. The next video concerning my reading will probably be a video summarizing how I did with last month's TBR. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it despite my rambling and sidetracking and not knowing what the F is going on. Thank you for watching. See you next video. Bye!